Oil prices going up is perhaps, in a sense, the most predictable part of this. I mean, when you look at the area that we're talking about, the Gulf, I mean, we all know this is one of, if not the most important concentration of oil fields and gas fields as well in the world. And so the fact that you can see there, oil prices have gone up by about kind of 9% or so, just over the course of kind of last night and this morning. It's not a surprise. If anything, actually, perhaps the surprise is that it's not more of a rise. I mean, you know, if the pinch point at the kind of south of the Gulf, so the Strait of Hormuz, if that was genuinely closed, and right now there aren't many ships passing through it, but if that was closed and nothing could pass through it for weeks, that would be enormously consequential for not just that region, but for the global economy. There you can see that's the Strait of Hormuz. You can see kind of a lot of vessels that are just waiting on either side of it to see if they can pass through because they are so nervous. That is one of the world's natural pinch points, perhaps the most important of all choke points, because it is through there that about a fifth of the world's, perhaps more, but depending on whose numbers you're looking at, but at least a fifth of the world's oil is passing. Even more of the world's fertilizer, about kind of 30% of all the world's fertilizer passes through that, because fertilizer is basically made, a lot of the kind of nitrogen-based fertilizer, it's made from oil and gas. It passes through that. And so if you're not able to get shipping through the Strait of Hormuz, that is a massive deal. And we've never really kind of countenanced that in recent memory. There have been moments like this where people have been very nervous about it and not really kind of known how long the conflict is going to last. But it's kind of abated over the following weeks. And so if the longer this goes on, and Donald Trump talking about this going on for weeks, the more of an impact it is likely to have on the global economy. And while oil prices, you know, it seems rather archaic still to be talking about oil prices, well, you know, that is still the foundation stone for so much of the global economy. And so the fact that you're now hearing from the Qatari authorities about Iranian drones trying to attack their oil facilities, the fact that we've seen pictures actually coming out of Saudi Arabia of the Ras Tanura refinery and flames coming out of there. It's the energy ministry in Saudi Arabia, there you can see the pictures. The ministry says that those were parts from drones that were intercepted. So the drones that attempted to attack the Ras Tanura refinery, you can see that's in Saudi Arabia. The attempt was foiled, but nonetheless you can see that there has been some damage done. When you're looking at these plants, I know that, you know, it just looks like a lot of just yet more pipe work that you often see in the Middle East against a kind of desert background. Well, Ras Tanura is an iconic site for Saudi Arabia. This is basically where its history as a petrostate began. So the fact that the Iranians are attempting to take it down and to damage it is enormously consequential in geopolitical terms, but also for the wider global economy. So that's the kind of initial concern, and you can see that's why oil prices have gone up quite a lot over the course of the last few hours. But still, I think a lot of traders, a lot of economists are looking at what's happening here and just trying to work out what the consequences are going to be. And it's very difficult right now at this early stage to understand all of the knock-on, you know, second, third tier consequences, given that the Middle East and the Gulf in general, it's not just about energy. You know, this is an entrepot for trade that goes around the world. It's an entrepot for people traveling around the world. And we have, you know, all these stories of people who are unfortunately trapped, stranded in Dubai and Abu Dhabi and other places around there. Because for a long time, people have gotten used to being able to move goods and move human beings around the world freely. And if this conflict that we're seeing at the moment is a challenge to that, well, that is much more consequential for the economy. So I think everyone just trying to work out, trying to get a sense of what might be the consequences. But we're still at very early stages in that, and it's going to, you know, if this is going to run for weeks, there's going to be speculation about that for a long time yet.